Hi everyone. Hi Mark, Craig, JB, Kevin, Anthony Brown. You are early down south there, Anthony. Hey Poppy, Tinker, Skip. Hi Cam, Thomas, g'day. Hey John. Hey Duncan. Gosh, you're a mixed lot tonight. Don't know if there's a whole lot to talk about, but congratulations to Cam at Battler. Cam McCown. Go and check out his channel if you haven't, but big shout out to him for getting his slaughter attachment for his lathe finished after like 5 million episodes. So it was a pretty good series. It was worth watching. There was a lot of it, but it's an awesome machine. So go and check him out. Let's see if it works. Hi, Abe. Yeah, Small Engines. G'day. I hope you don't give yourself a hernia or worse or whatever lifting it about. That's all. Hey, Darren. Rustanox, g'day. What else is happening in YouTube land? I got some stickers from Craig. What happened to them? Goodness gracious. Yeah, I meant to get them out. I knew there were stickers from someone. Stickers from Craig's workshop. That's pretty exciting. No idea where they are. They'll probably turn up. Anyway, that's awesome. Hi, Mark. Hi, Mike. Hey, Paddy. JB, I thought you were cleaning up and downsizing and stuff. I don't know where I got that idea. I might have been completely out of the... I was probably wrong. No, disregard that. I just don't know where I got that idea. Don't worry, JB. Give me a second. I'm going to go and find some stickers. Nope, I'm back, and they're not where I thought they were. So, I'll probably turn up. They'll be here somewhere. Guarantee it. I'm sure they just got banged on the bench here inside the door as I come in the other night. Not sure. Anyway, might be next week. Hey, Maddie. Did I watch ClickSpring's video? Yes, I did. If he keeps going like he's going to be pretty good at stuff. I'll give him that. Hey, Maddie, good to see you. I've been restoring this Vise because YouTube channels without Vise restoration projects are null and void, apparently. But this is the colour. I hope no one minds. I've had some negative complaints about it. but it's the colour that I had. So it's a Carter, it's Australian Carter. It's sort of half painted. It's painted on that side. It didn't get painted this side yet. I have to turn it over. Yeah, it was on discount, exactly. This is probably not really for woodwork as such, although there will come a time when I might eventually do some more pattern making, but it's not going to be for a while. And mostly it's for draw file on the ends of bits of brass sheet and things like that. That's what this vise will be good for. Yeah, Mike's right. It was spaghetti and it was full of quenching oil. But anyway, I've moved it. So this is a project in sort of in progress. I've cleaned it up and got all the dirt off it and cleaned the edges up, and it needs a bit of a sand back and another coat of paint. It might get that tonight after live stream. It's probably very similar to a record, which was made in Australia too. It's only a 6-inch, so it's only tiny, but I'm going to put it over here on the other bench and it might be useful for things. I think I need something like that. So I've been working on that off and on. I like spent an hour on it maybe. Oops. This week's kind of average because I spent the weekend mostly on my back. I've got an old sports injury from years and years and years ago, and it flares up every now and again without any reason and then goes 2 days later or a day later. So I'm fine at the moment, but who knows when it'll come back. Not all that impressed. So I didn't get a lot done this last weekend. Apologies to everyone. Thanks for that, Craig. Hey, Raymond. Just down the road. You're here on holidays. So, what else is happening? I made an engraving video. I don't know if anyone saw that. I guess you probably were all busy watching ClickSpring's engraving video. Actually it's doing okay. I was thinking this morning that it's not doing so well, and no one was watching it, but average watch time's like 9 minutes or something, so everyone must have sort of watched it nearly all the way through, which is a bit crazy. And thanks, guys. Really appreciate that. That's kind of cool. As far as views, it's not really up there, and I might change the thumbnail in a day or so when I've got some engraving done to put on it. Darren's right there with the ClickSpring stuff. That's a pretty brave thing to say in this group. Darren, that's hey John, hey Max. Pretty brave thing to say. It's not very informative and you don't see the stuff ups, but he does a nice job, and the presentation's amazing and it's good entertainment. I'm not going to debate click-spring skill with Darren, who's probably forgot more about making clocks than click-spring ever learnt. But anyway, there we go. He's a long way away. Part 2. Yeah, there will be a part 2. It probably won't be on Gravers. It will be on... hi, David. I would like to do some like basic corner patterns, things like that. Little easy push engraving projects and ideas and embellishments that don't sort of make you too discouraged. So that might be a really cool project video to do in that series. And it might also be kind of cool to do a layout and transfer design sort of a video as well. Yeah, I'm still thinking about that. I'm not really an expert. Not even a little bit. John, I think Darren kind of does tend to do some nice work. I'm not going there, but there you go. Anyway, Anthony Brown, it's a slippery slope. I added up all the things I needed to get engraving going properly so that I could do work that I was happy with to click-spring standard. Probably about 10 or 11,000 US dollars. I think that's about where I'd like to be if I was actually going to do that, but I'm not. So the engraving you're going to get out of me is going to be very, very basic little corner embellishments and a few letters, things like that. And they're things that I'm comfortable with and I can do, and they're probably quite useful that you could manage in a workshop too with a bit of practice. Now he's getting back. He's backing out. Darren's backing out. No. You're right. It's short on instructions. He doesn't give a lot of secrets away. That's click-spring. He doesn't give a lot of secrets away, and that's a bit of a pity because it would be cool to see some videos that have, yeah, how to get that color blue on your screws, or how to get sharp corners on the screw heads and all that sort of thing that is kind of interesting. Flat polishes and black polishes, things like that. Anyway, that's one of Stan's squares on the bench that I haven't put away. Yeah, that's one of the. I'm going to give him a shout out. Because this is one of those tools that I use nearly every day. This box with the Z on it. And I'm pretty lucky to have these. They're kind of amazing. I'm sure you've all seen them. If you don't follow Stan Zinkowski at Vise Industrial, you probably should. The trouble is with opening the box is you find that there's two others missing as well. And I reckon they're over here on the milling machine. And they are. Darren, wow, flashbacks with PTSD's kicking in there. It's like not dropping bits. It's on the same level. Yeah. Yeah, to be fair, ClickSpring uses a GRS, I would imagine. That's what I would say it probably is, which is a fairly expensive machine, and anyone could do nice engraving with one of them and some factory gravers. This has actually got a Stewart scriber in it, which is a bit boring. It should have a Randy Richards scriber in there, and I'm sure there's one that I could put in there. But these squares, if you haven't seen them, there's these squares from Stans and Koski. They've got a raised lip on this side and a raised lip on this side. And they're designed to hook over an edge if you're setting something up in the mill, or if you're setting something up against a square edge. It's one less hand and you know it's going to be accurate. So if you're setting up a vise in the milling machine, a million things. Go and check out Stan's channel. These are the best thing. Like that's the one tool I use nearly every day on the workshop. Sorry about the sound. Now, I've tried something else. I've set it at a different setting, the live stream. I don't know if anyone's noticing any difference, but some people were saying they're having trouble with buffering. So I don't know if I fixed that or not, or it's got worse. Stay in tune, Rustanox. That sounds awesome. Can't wait for a new video. Anyway, what else? Look, major breakthrough. Take care, Rustnucks. Hey, Chirpy, good day. Major breakthrough in the milling machine thing. Bought a set of these, which are Morse Taper 2 collets. Which I can put in the spindle of the mill, and we can shorten up or extend the usable wire travel on the milling machine by probably about 70 mil, something like that, compared to my ER 32 collet set. So they should be good. So expect this next weekend a video on the Stewart 400 if you're on Patreon, or a video on the little Kenny traction engine if you're not. So that's going to happen this next weekend, and I'm pretty excited about that. That's something that I'm well aware with these, Darren. Chisel grinding jig. Mark Osborne, I'm not sure what you mean there. They will. However, the problem is, my coffee is getting cold. Check out this coffee mug. YouTube Machinist Facebook group. Go and check these guys out if you're on Facebook. That's us. Go and check us out. Take care. Take care, Skip. I'm just going back through the comments here. Hey, Paul. Oh, gosh, good question. Moving to southern Queensland, Gold Coast or Brisbane? Brisbane, probably. It depends what you're into. There is talk of a new model engineering club going in here at Nerang, which would be awesome. It's all hush-hush and no one's supposed to know anything about it yet. I really hope it does. If anyone knows anything about that, get in touch with me. There isn't really a model engineering club on the Gold Coast. However, there's a machine reconditioning and scraping club on the Gold Coast, which is pretty exciting. We all hang about down there. And it's not far anywhere anyway. A grinding jig. Look, Mark, I started on the belt linisher. These are only carbon steel. All right, this grave is carbon steel. This one here, which is a knife edge graver, which is probably the next one I'm going to get going actually. We'll see. A lot of social engineering here. This is a knife edge graver, but this one's got a yellow end. Now here's a tip, and I should have put this in the video probably. This one's high-speed steel with the yellow end. Usually these are blue or they're nothing if you've got a carbon steel one. These are also available in tungsten, which I didn't mention. They're pretty good, but for push engraving, they're fairly easy to snap. So I didn't sort of mention that. But this is a high-speed steel graver. It's usually used for stone setting, that sort of thing. The reason is that this one, if you have a look, has got a bit of a bend in it. Oh, I don't know if you can see it. It's got a bit of a bend that way. And you can put a bend in a carbon steel graver without any problems. You can't put a bend in this one. So your cutting angle on this is going to be way, 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 way superior to the cutting angle on a high-speed steel graver. So that's the main reason. This one, these are turn engravers I was messing around with. They're not really very good, but that's nowhere near even sharp. It's not even close to sharp. I just roughed that out the other day. That's 8 high-speed steel. You can't buy high-speed steel small enough, Craig. This is 332 or 2.5 mil. That's about where you need to be. 2 millimeters is probably plenty for push engraving, and you can't get high-speed steel that small. This, it's a pain in the neck to work, and there are reasons that it doesn't work. It's just a personal thing, but that's where I'm at with that. And yeah, it's too brittle, it'll chip. So there's a million things in that video I didn't put in, and I might put some of them in the next video, but the next video is probably going to be patterns and corners and things like that. Simple stuff that make things look cool. Had a problem with this, and I guess you all saw this last week, I don't know. This is the Stewart 400 engine casting. That's not a bad idea, Chirpy. It might be interesting. But you can make anything into anything, so. This has a problem, or my milling machine has a problem, in that if I put the collet chuck in there, it comes to about here with the table right out. So drilling this through here is going to be a problem. However, if I use a Morse Taper 2 collet in there, I've got enough space to put a drill and a reamer ideally and ream this, and then I can machine this. And then we can go ahead and we can put the crankshaft in and the flywheel on and the crank on and the timing gears in and start to look like we're actually getting somewhere. So look out for a video on this weekend if you're on Patreon. If you're not, look out for a video on my little traction engine. So that's pretty exciting. I'm excited about that. What else? Sorry about your stickers, Craig. It'll be next time. They must be here somewhere. Pretty confident I left them somewhere, because I thought I'd need them tonight. Anyway. Apart from that, subscription counter works. It's awesome. It's also a bit of a cow because it only counts in tens now, so you can't make it go up and down. Good question, Kevin. I haven't got enough travel on this milling machine to bore that cylinder. I'm either going to call in a favour or jury rig something with a couple of bearing blocks and some sort of between centres boring bar, which might work. More likely, I'm probably going to go and do it on a friend's mill. Well, nice chirpy. That's pretty exciting. Mark, that sounds great, and that's what I was going to do. I was going to make a project plate for that engine to clamp it to and then hold it out the front, and that would work. However, I just haven't got the 5 inches travel on the y-axis, so it's just not there. So that's not going to happen. Take care, Max. Good to see you. What else? Scraping club, meat, barbecue, etc., etc., etc. I'm sure Marcus Christensen won't mind me shouting it out. Is Saturday night at Burleigh. My email address is down the bottom. If you want to catch up, or if you're in the area and you want to come to the barbecue, and a lot of guys who really don't know a lot but like to pretend they do, and me too, and we're all the same there. But it's good fun. We're a good bunch. You'll know a lot of us probably off the internet. But that's Saturday night. If you're interested, drop me an email. I'll send you details. Lathe steady. Lathe steady, I got measured. It needs 42 thou off one side. I could probably set it up on the mill and do it in the next little while without too many issues, and I probably will. However, it hasn't happened yet. Yeah, that'd work, Chirpy, but getting a nice bore for a petrol engine is a little bit dodgy that way. I'm really not happy with that. So I'm back on this engine. I really want to bore it properly and give it half a chance of actually running. So we might call in a favour on that. But we can get all this side machine now. So there's a water jacket port, and there's the two keepers for the push rod, like push rod trunnions. There's the hole here for the camshaft, and there's this one for the main bearing. And once we've got all that going, we can make the crankshaft, we can put the crank on it, which we've already done, and we put the flywheel on it, which we've already done, and hopefully we can have most of these bits ticking over before we even touch this bore. Paul, no Facebook page. We should, but they're a bit slack. Hey, Dave. Kevin, I hope so. I really do. If we bolt this down on the table and machine that through there, it should be pretty close. I hope it runs straight. There's a lot of work to get to here if it doesn't. Hey, Stefan. G'day. Yeah, that's a bit strange. I don't know what happens there. I set it for notification an hour before the stream. It's probably not enough, but by the time I get home from work and put up a thumbnail and fill in some details and stuff, it sort of doesn't happen any quicker than that. And I'm sorry about that. Oh, yes. No, there's no sleeve. Machine NZ, that's a really good question. Really good question. Originally, this ran steel straight in the casting, and I think we're going to do that again because there's not really enough meat for a bush. This is really a pretty interesting thing. Years ago, I owned a Austin 15 horsepower from about 1911, 1912. Never ever finished the build. Moved it on to someone else. It's still in Tasmania. There's a couple of them in Tasmania. Magic engine, but it had a cast iron block, and the steel cranks ran, or the steel camshafts ran directly in the cast iron. And 90 years later of working as a motor car and then as a pump engine on a riverbank for many years, there was no wear at all. So I'm kind of thinking that that'll work. So that's where I'm at with that. At this point, it's going to wear out one day, but if it's made properly and we machine or grind or whatever the crank and get the crank as nice as we can, I don't think it's going to be in my lifetime with this. So that's the answer on that, is that this is going to go straight through and have probably a pre-hard 4140 crank run through it. So I think that's where I'm at the moment. You can email him, but I'm not sure he answers. I think so, Chirpy. That's what that's where I'm thinking. The thing's not going to run a whole lot. It's not going to do hours and hours and hours of work. And I think it's going to be plenty good enough. I'm the same. Email me by all means. Don't expect if you email me 5 or 6 pages that you're going to get 5 or 6 pages back. That's where I'm at with it. The problem I like to hear from people. I like to get emails, and I like to answer questions. But if you email me, only send me a question. Don't send me 10 or 12, because I'm really struggling by the end of it to get to replying to it anytime soon, because it's going to be a long email. Hi, Tony. Good day. Um, yeah, Stefan, that's where we're at. It's not really even which mill should we buy. I really like to answer questions, and I like to talk to people, and I like to, if I know something, you're welcome to that bit of knowledge, and you're welcome to any answer I can give. But sometimes it's hard to structure into a couple of paragraphs that I can send off before work or overnight when I get home, or compose or read on my telephone. So keep it brief, but email me heaps. Anyway, that's about where we are tonight. There wasn't really a lot to see, a lot to say. We've managed to talk pretty well constant for 36 minutes or something, so that's not a bad effort. Thanks heaps to all my new subscribers. Really appreciate anyone who's come on board, and there's like 600 in the last couple of weeks, which is crazy. Really appreciate that. There's some cool stuff coming. When I get time, there's going to be some pretty cool stuff coming on this channel, and I'm excited about it. And there's 1,000 things I want to build, but right now, this engine's a priority. Getting the mill fixed and ready and going is another priority, and probably engraving shouldn't be a priority, but get a couple of videos out on engraving might be a priority as well. They seem well received. So thanks everyone for watching. Paul, I'm on the Gold Coast. Patty, happy to answer that question. Anyway, I'm out. Thanks everyone for hanging about and listening to the dribble. Really appreciate having all of you here and having this bit of a community, and having 17 people waiting for the live stream to start tonight's pretty crazy, but I really appreciate it. If we can we're all in this together, as Red Green says. We could we can make a lot of things work. Anyway, so we'll see ya. And be kind to each other.